Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. We're here on the road into the Sahara Desert.
We're up early to make the most of the cool hours in the day, and yeah, it's going to be pretty demanding, a little bit daunting as well, but we're super excited.
Let's get it done. We're a bit tired because we got up really early this morning. Like Murphy's Law, all things went wrong, but we are on the road now. The sun is just coming up there and it's blessing us to go on our way. We're on quite a rough track here. The road is rocky, but we're here. It's doable. Yeah, it's gonna be like this for 3 or 4 days. It's just incredible to realize that we're actually doing it.
As you can tell, the sun is already blasting. It's only around 10 o'clock. Good thing is that we have a slight gradient all the way, and yeah, the weather should also be pretty good. I think even the third day there's some overcast and maybe a little bit of rain. So yeah, everything is in our favor.
There are so many tracks to choose from and they all have a different kind of surface. Now we're on a little bit of a sandy stretch. Also it's a little bit corrugated, these micro bumps. You have the choice and you never know what you're gonna get up ahead. Seems to be becoming rocky again, so from the sand now we're going into the M'Hamid Desert. I think that's called Rocky Desert. Yeah, so here comes the shaking. Starts again. It just saps your energy. It's beautiful though. The landscape is amazing. Look at it. Look at it. Wow.
This video is about our attempt to cross a part of the Sahara Desert in Morocco. From the frontier town of M'Hamid we begin our off-road adventure. It is supposed to take us around 3 days, but unexperienced as we are cycling in this type of terrain, we absolutely don't know what to expect. The end of this adventure is in a small town called M'Hamid, but little did we know that just in a few days the desert is about to show us many of its personalities.
It's like riding on the moon again. It's just really incredible to realize that there's like, I believe, 9 million square meters of desert in front of us. It's just incredible. Yeah, it's fascinating to think about the history of this landscape. There used to be so much trading here with caravans from city to city to these bigger trading cities like Timbuktu, of course. They used to trade not only products but even slaves in the past. Also a lot of cultural traditions and religion is spread through all these trading routes. So it's just a fascinating history here.
We're taking a short break here and look at the spikes on this acacia tree, I think it is. These spikes are super big and super pointy, super sharp and strong as well. So the tires are pretty fat, but look at it. I've even seen them even bigger than the tires as well. Occasionally they're also on the path, the wind is blowing them everywhere when they break off, and yeah, we better watch out for them.
Here in the back you see one of these water wells. They're actually marked on the map, which is really great. Yeah, we can carry only so much water, of course. We started out with, I think, 20 liters in total, which is quite overdone, but we didn't know what to expect. But it's good to see that they're actually here and there's water in it. That's just perfect for us.
Shall we fill it up for you guys? So we have to figure the system out. I think it's kind of a 2-bucket system. One bucket goes down and the other one comes up. We don't need water at the moment. The donkeys have some now to drink, but it's good to know that these places are here if we would need them. So really cool way to learn about the system of water here in the desert.
Good morning, everybody. We just slept one night here in the desert and it was such a special evening. A first for me in such a wide open space, and it was very quiet. And yeah, you could see a sky full of stars with the Milky Way, and it's a little bit cool right now, but it gets very hot in the day, so yeah, just a very special feeling. We're now heading to an auberge. It's 26 kilometers away. There we can stock up with new water. Hopefully they have some coffee too, and it would be absolutely great. So yeah, it's a beautiful morning. The sun hasn't risen yet. I'm gonna enjoy it. We're now riding on there into the distance to hopefully find a road and continue on.
Man, these people that are living here, it's just incredible. There are still some like nomadic camps here. I think mostly they live off maybe from their animals, or I'm not sure, to be honest.
We resume our journey eastwards to Lac Erikli and take some rest at an auberge. When we continue, it doesn't take long before we get stuck in the sand. And when a storm suddenly hits, we need to change course to a little village.
Here on the shores of Lac Erikli, the water is evaporated a long time ago. It's now this flat here, and we're riding just beside it. It's a kind of a magical feeling. Mountains you see in the distance over there, hopefully you can see them. That's the border with Algeria. Every kilometer or so there is a border post. They really monitor the area really well. Until now the cycling is fantastic. It's bumpy, but not super tough or hard or anything. So if you're in for an adventure, look no further than Morocco. This is amazing. The sun is coming up, there's still some freshness in the air. It's beyond words. Just talked with Mauri. You have to be here to experience it, and it's just impossible to really capture with the camera.
Of course, this is quite an empty stretch, but still there are quite some regular tourists and overlanders and like adventure travelers. Many of them actually stop to ask if everything is fine and if we need some water, if we need anything else. I think that's a really cool like scene, that people just look out for you, and it just gives a sense of security. In hindsight, the stretch through the desert that we were kind of nervous for is much easier than expected. Almost everyone, actually everyone that we asked, told us that it would be really difficult. So we were a little bit nervous about it, but until now only the first stretch was a bit difficult with a lot of loose rocks, but I don't know what I was so nervous about. There's enough water, there's even an auberge here to have some lunch in the most unlikely place here in the Sahara. Pretty unreal, but somehow feels like a holiday.
So over there in the distance there's an auberge. There we're going to stock up with some water, drink some coffee, and then we're continuing.
الله جاي قلا قيل ومعانا قيل ومعانا قيل قلا قيل يا قيل قلا قيل ومعانا قيل نطرح قيفاني قلا قيل يا قيل قلا قيل ومعانا قيل
Alright, we're heading on. It was a great stop. We had some lunch, friendly guys, and we have two route options, the southern and the northern route. The southern is going to the big sand dunes, but unfortunately everybody that we asked, all the locals but also the tourists, said it's impossible with the bikes, too much pushing. We're going to take the northern route. It's a bit longer though, 30 to 40 kilometers extra, but it's more rocky, so it should be doable. But it's definitely getting more sandy for sure, you can tell here by the surface. Not always easy, but most of the sandy parts you can ride still.
So we were taking a detour over there, and the path became quite sandy. We thought it was not smart to go that route, so we're now plodding back. But I stopped pushing the bikes now, and yeah, Maudi's coming there. She's still cycling, I see, so that's a good thing. Yeah, let's head out and get to better pavement or to desert surface, however you call it. Let's do it.
Imagine what a real sandstorm must be like. The atmosphere changed on a dime, full on headwind because we had to backtrack, and now it is a sandstorm in the heat of the day. So it's getting used to a little. You can immediately feel now how rough this place is. We're now here invited in the home of a Berber family in a very small village here in the desert. We asked for some water and then we were invited for some tea. So we're now here, and there are the girls. We are later invited to have some dinner together with the whole family. So that was absolutely a great break because we were caught in this sandstorm and now we can stay for the night. So it's wonderful. We just played some hide and seek and we had lovely conversations, so we could learn a bit about the culture and about their way of living here, which is very different from our own.
Right.
Tanmirt or
Tanmirt.
Tanmirt.
You? No. Hi. Petit gazelle. Nice. Yeah. We're now picking the beans for the tagine for tonight in the vegetable garden here of the family. But I should only take the big ones because these have the big beans in it. So the small ones they still need to grow a bit. Okay, otra. We just left the village, and this was such a beautiful and special experience. It was hard to say goodbye. Yeah, you could really sense that they really liked us staying with them. What a lovely family. We got a real insight in how it is to live in such a remote place, and there goes so much work into their existence here. Even, you know, the cooking that we did yesterday was such an intensive process. You know, we started by going to the garden with picking all the vegetables. The flour that they used for baking the bread, they also got it from their garden. So they first grow the plants and then make it into flour. And then they made this beautiful bread. I actually helped yesterday. That was a lot of fun with the whole family sitting on the ground, cleaning the vegetables, kneading the bread. We helped with all the cooking, but you know, sometimes you have to understand when to just leave out the camera and really enjoy the intimate moment together. And after that, we baked it in the wood oven. And that was such a special experience. I've never experienced that in my life. We sat there for like 10 minutes all together in this small room with all the smoke and then these breads going in, and wow, it was really something. Oh, c'est joli. C'est joli.
Even maken. Shema gaat gedaan. Shema? Yeah.
For me, I'm really grateful to be experienced this in such a remote place on the planet. Such a different way of life than I'm used to. I'm really happy to get this perspective in how other people think, live, and experience life. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave you here, and we're heading on for our Sahara stretch.
We are just now cycling away out of the village, and what a heartfelt moment we had with Ahmed and Sahara and their children. They took us into their house with all the care they could give. And if you are interested in having an authentic Sahara experience, I can't say enough about coming to the people directly instead of going to the big tour operators in the bigger cities. And these people, they have been hit hard by Corona. Tourism is a big part of their way of life, and for them it's difficult to stay afloat. The feeling is difficult to describe, to say goodbye to people you have such a special bonding with, and it's just that we perhaps meet again in the future. What they say here in Morocco, inshallah, if God wills, and hopefully it will be so.